All right. On Peter Thiel, 12 days and made a citizen. It looks like he bought his way into New Zealand, doesn't it?
Well, look, that's a misleading impression of what happened. He actually was already a New Zealand resident, granted residency in 2006, I think, by the previous government. So he didn't just turn up at the airport and become a citizen. There's a discretionary process. The officials make recommendations. As I understand, there's 700 or 800 people get citizenship by this process every year. So the minister used his discretion. I think we need to remember the context. At the time, New Zealand was coming out of recession, looking for flows of capital, things that might help us get ahead. We're quite happy with the fact that Peter Thiel's a citizen.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got citizenship, though, would he, if it wasn't for his wealth?
Well, if he wasn't an investor, that probably would have made a difference. I mean, you'd need to look at the official advice about that.
But he wants citizenship too. Well, why do you think he wants citizenship? I've got an idea about why he might want it, but what do you think?
Look, I don't know what his particular reasons were. We find more and more people want to be citizens of a stable, safe, credible country. New Zealand's profile is rising around the world. That's a good thing.
Well, he had permanent residency, so he could come here whenever he wanted. He could live here for as long as he wanted, right?
Well, and you're best to ask him about why he wanted to change that status.
But it allows you to buy anything you like without scrutiny from the Overseas Investment Office, doesn't it? That's a point of fact, isn't it? If you're a New Zealand citizen, you can buy what you like without scrutiny from the Overseas Investment Office.
That may well be the case. I don't know if that was his motivation.
No, but that is true, isn't it?
Well, he had to be. I mean, if the implication is that there's some kind of secret of transactions or whatever, that would be wrong.
No, it just allows you far greater discretion about what you own, buy, and acquire in New Zealand, doesn't it? If you're a New Zealand citizen.
Well, fundamentally, it just means if you buy land, then it doesn't need to go through the provisions of the Overseas Investment Act.
Perception-wise, though, do you think it's a good look to be granting New Zealand citizenship to a person with such a fleeting interest in New Zealand? I heard Peter Dunn over the weekend, who's had ministerial positions in this kind of area before, saying he wouldn't have granted him citizenship.
Well, look, I think it would be. I think you'd have to say he's got more than a fleeting interest in New Zealand. I mean, he's been a resident. He made a resident 11 years ago. Citizen 5 or 6 years ago.
12 days in New Zealand, though.
Well, he was already a resident. I mean, it's simply wrong to characterise it as a guy showing up at the airport becoming a citizen.
No, I'm just giving you the facts that you reluctantly released. It was 12 days. 12 days in New Zealand. I mean, that's fleeting,
the fact,
isn't it?
You didn't give the fact that he was a resident since 2006. Look, we're quite
resident
happy.
Mean? Because I know what it means to me. It means I live somewhere.
Yeah, well, what
does it mean to you?
These are our laws for how you qualify for residency or citizenship. We're quite happy. Look, some people don't like the guy or disagree with him. Yeah. We're quite happy with his contribution. He's particularly in our tech sector got a set of relationships with the US tech sector, which I am told have been very useful for the development of what's now one of our faster growing export sectors.
Yeah, for sure.
These are good things. These are good things.
For sure. But is it an ongoing and enduring interest, or did he get the stamp, get the passport and lose interest in us?
Well, I hope it's an ongoing and enduring interest. Because we could continue to benefit as a country from that kind of connection.
And do you have any evidence that it is? I mean, is he a guy that you've stayed in touch with?
I think I may have met him once in my office a number of years ago, but we don't track citizens to make sure that they're behaving correctly. I mean, he's a citizen of New Zealand. He has the same rights as everybody else.
Yeah. So no regrets about offering him citizenship at all?
No, I don't think so. I think, and particularly in the context in which it was granted, where New Zealand was getting on its feet again, I think a more useful contribution.
All right. Hey, thank you very much for your time. Really do appreciate you coming into the Auckland studio. That's the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Bill English.